So I organized the BMA Ladies Ride and Social together with Husqvarna now for the 4th year. And the reason we set up this event is we wanted to have an event where women could meet other women, to get comfortable riding in groups, and to basically be a fun event. So we set it up with lots of socializing, food, fun activities, to just be a low pressure environment, so they could go out and have fun on their bikes and hopefully introduce them to riding in groups and be comfortable to going on other BMA events and ride with other groups. So that's why we actually host this event. It's for women by women.
We're here today for the 4th annual Bytown Motorcycle Association Husqvarna Ladies and Girls Ride and Social. We're here in the Limerick Forest for like a good day of riding, socializing. We're having a nice barbecue, and there's been lots of prizes, and really to build the women's motorcycling community.
So the Bytown Motorcycle Association has been around for a lot of years. We're an organization based out of Ottawa, and we're a member of the OFTR, the Ontario Federation of Trail Riders. The OFTR is an Ontario-based organization that has thousands of members and has a number of member clubs like the BMA. We have main riding areas in Limerick Forest, La Rose Forest and Calabogie. And we're working with the City of Ottawa to obtain additional riding areas close to the city to make them areas where we can ride legally as a group. BMA right now has about 750 members. Riding in Limerick Forest mandates you to be a BMA member, and this has definitely brought up our membership. So we also give back to the forest by doing trail maintenance, expanding new trails, and we hold events here. For instance, today we have the Ladies Ride and Social. We also organize orientation rides in the different trail areas. We organize a family ride, and we have our annual Calabogie Boogie in Calabogie, which is our sort of prime event of the year. And in the fall, which is the best riding area time of the year, I think, we have even more events, mainly in Calabogie, to enjoy. So for today's event, we have women from all age ranges. I think our youngest rider is probably 3, and I think our oldest rider is close to 60. And this is what I really like about riding off-road motorcycle. This is not something for a specific age, this is for everybody. I really love seeing the kids in the sport. Personally, I think that riding off-road motorcycle is extremely good for balance, control, discipline. And a lot of people might think that riding a dirt bike is just twisting a throttle, but try it one day yourself. Riding a dirt bike is just as hard as riding a mountain bike or any other cardio activity, except for it's different muscle groups and different things that you're using. But you still have to be fit, and you have to pay attention, and you have to focus. But I really think it comes down to learning a good level of discipline. You meet lots of great people riding out, and it's actually a lot of fun to do.
My name is Chloe Warnock. I work basically a desk job during the day for the government, Fisheries and Oceans. So it feels really good to get out and ride during the weekends and sometimes after work. My friend Margot got me into riding, Margot and Blake. And before I started riding enduro, I did about a year, I think, of road biking, and then it was Blake and Margot who convinced me to buy a dirt bike instead of a road bike, and I haven't turned back.
I would never say that riding a dirt bike is easy, because you always want to challenge yourself, and there's a lot to learn, definitely, when you're riding a motorcycle. There's definitely a lot of new technology, and as a rider, you're always wanting to progress and ride in different areas, and yeah, it's definitely a physically demanding sport as well.
So the ladies' ride today really consists of a number of things to do. In the morning, we start out with a number of group rides. We have the kids groups, we have beginner, intermediate groups, so everybody can split up and find a group that they like riding in, or they can have a Husqvarna demo bike and try out a new bike that they might want to have in the future.
I am in the grand scheme of things, newer to the sport than some of our counterparts here at the Bytown Motorcycle Association. So when I first started working on this event, we identified that some of the girls were intimidated by the bike size. So over the years, we've lowered the bikes and made them less intimidating for the ladies. And now that they feel comfortable riding and the participation has increased on the demo rides, there's lots of different options to lower bikes and customize bikes for the women. And so it's really nice for the women to come out here and try the lowered bikes and get a little more comfortable. And overall, they're just less intimidated.
The women's ride is awesome because it's not so common that you meet other women riding. So it's great to just talk to people who are like you and to be able to share experiences, you know. And I guess part of it is being a woman, and part of it is also just typically women are smaller and lighter than men, so it's neat to share the experience of like, yeah, it's awesome that they lowered these bikes, and oh, it's great that they're making bikes now that are a little less big. And yeah, just connecting with other women so that you can have each other's contact information and plan future trips and have a gang.
So I moved to Canada about 10 years ago, and the first thing that we did is my husband bought me a mountain bike because there's all these amazing things to do in Canada that you can't do in the Netherlands off-road. And fast forward a few years, I saw all the pictures of Leander going to these amazing dual sport places in northern Quebec and visiting these dams and all the nice logging roads. So I figured it would be really nice if I could be on the bike too. So I figured I'd get my license so I could be on the back of his bike. And Leander thought, well, maybe I should get her a bike. So he bought me a little KLX 250 so I could practice in around the yard in between my lessons. And so before I got my actual road license, I actually went to ride here in Limerick because I couldn't ride on the road yet because I didn't have my license, and actually liked the dirt much better than I did the road. So fast forward a few years, I got myself a real dirt bike and started to ride in groups.
I originally came from more of a action sports background, wakeboarding and snowboarding, and as we're getting older, a lot of our friends were getting into mountain biking and dirt biking, so it was like a gentle progression into riding. And yeah, we're just like started riding at our friend's farm, and it kind of grew from there.
My name is Patty Brown. I've been riding for about 3 years. I'm from Calabogie, Ontario, and I started coming to Calabogie about 5 years ago. Moved there last year. I started riding about 3 years ago when my boyfriend had a dirt bike, and I'd always been interested in riding. And so I decided to get on a bike for the first time. So our first trails were the trails in Calabogie, and I fell in love with it. This is our 3rd annual ride. The first year I was on a 125. Last year I was on a 230. This year I brought a 350 Beta, and for the first time tried a 2-stroke 150. Loved it. And it's been a beautiful day. It's always been a beautiful day here. It's a great ride. Love it here at Limerick.
Salut, je m'appelle Mimi Lacroix. J'ai 10 ans. Je viens de Sainte-Marthe-sur-le-Lac au Québec. Je fais de la moto parce que je trouve que c'est un défi. Puis j'aime ça, relever des défis. Puis j'aime ça quand il y a des obstacles.
Well, last year I did a dirt bike boot camp, and that was with Megan Griffith, or Megs Brap, and Barry Morris was there, and Dallas from E-Reg magazine. And it was an amazing weekend. Learned so much. And I'd like to continue with my techniques, and I'd like to learn how to do wheelies. Wheelies help you get over logs, get over objects and big obstacles. And yeah, so every year I'm just pushing myself to do a little more. And living in Calabogie is a bonus because I can just get on my bike right outside the house and be on a trail. and we can be all day taking rocks, hills, single track, wide track, it doesn't matter. But I just want to improve, meet more people, and get more involved. So maybe next year start volunteering a bit, maybe, and just get on the trails more often.
So we have a number of games in the afternoon, just to have fun and play around. So we have our lounge area where everybody can hang out, eat ice cream, have some candies from the candy bar, and our main goal is to make it a relaxed atmosphere where people can play games, socialize and have fun, and enjoy each other. And then for the afternoon we go out and ride more bikes again, enjoy the sun and the dirt and the dust, and ride till we're tired.
We're really excited that events like this, there are 4 women, but the families are here, the husbands, the boyfriends, the brothers, and they're really supportive because they see that the women definitely have an opportunity to improve and grow in the sport, and it's definitely an activity that can be done by the family.
Aujourd'hui, la ride des filles, j'aime ça parce que je trouve que ça fait différent quand il y a une ride pour les filles. C'est ça.
I thought initially when I started on a dirt bike that there would be a lot of people thinking that I was just weird and why are you doing this? But when you start in with the community, the dirt bike community, there are so many women that do it that it's very easy to do.
Well, my advice, if you're a beginner getting into the sport, is start with a small bike. I'm on a free ride, KTM free ride right now, 252 stroke, and I love it. But if I had started with that, even knowing that maybe in a year or 2 I would have had it, don't have the mindset of you're gonna save money by buying the big bike right away. You can totally buy a CRF 150 for, $2 grand and sell it for the same amount of money. And then wait until you grow out of a bike to get a new one. Because that comfort zone, the psychological game, is kind of the biggest part of the sport. So yeah, start small, and when you're ready, go bigger. And you're not gonna lose money by doing that.
Women can also go out into the bush, they can do hills, they can do rocks, they can do logs. And so I think the dirt bike community is very accepting of the women. There's people that haven't been on a bike that are more weary of it. They don't understand more why the women would go into this type of thing. But for me, it's about focus, and it's about fun, and it's about community, and I've only met nice people.
We love working with the Bytown Motorcycle Association, and every year they're an important part of our planning, and we love doing events with Bytown Motorcycle Association because it draws such a diverse crowd, so every level of rider, and that's who we really love to see out at the events, every level.
It's a kind of impossible sport to get into, so that's why the BMA is awesome, because you have those, everyone wants to take you under your wing, Like I have a friend this year who has a friend who got into riding, and she connected her with me, and I was like, join the BMA, we're gonna help you out and you can get into the sport, and that's what she did.
Husqvarna Motorcycles is looking to grow the women's involvement in the sport. We were fortunate enough to find a partner such as the Bytown Motorcycle Association to work with that really embodies sort of that spirit of growing the sport as well. We have this beautiful forest in Ontario at the Limerick Forest, and it's a great location for all levels of riders to come out to.
This won't be our last women's event. Next year we're going to definitely organize a women's event again, so stay tuned for more BMA Girls Who Ride, and join us on our Facebook group BMA Women Who Ride.